calling on the power and the energy of the cards now to bring forward any messages that we need to hear. May each of these cards have an individual meaning to us, an individual understanding that helps to guide us along our true path and way. So I pulled a past, present, and future card tonight, and I also pulled a spirit animal card to guide us throughout this rest of the year and throughout this solstice portal, and maybe just throughout this season of summer. So for the past card, I ended up pulling the Page of Wands. And you can see here, he's got a green cloak. He's surrounded by the light of the sun, this yellow solar energy. And he's got a blue tunic on. He's holding a wand. Wands are always a sign of magic or alchemy or change, transformation. And if we're thinking about this from the past, that's certainly what we have gone through. We've gone through a lot of change and transformation, and we're not the same on the other side. We've certainly alchemized a bit. Even maybe your mindset or the way that you've been living has also changed. So this is a time to maybe reflect on those changes that have happened in the past and ask yourself if they've been for your magical life full of joy and excitement and abundance or not. I do think that this Page of Wands is also asking us to look back at this recent Mercury retrograde, just because of this influence of the green cloak and the blue tunic. So blue is the throat chakra, green is the heart chakra. Then we had Mercury retrograde in Gemini, an air sign. So Page of Wands asks us to look a little bit at the details, to pay attention to the details. So maybe we're being asked right now to look back at Mercury retrograde these past 3 weeks or so and pay attention to the details of what happened during that time, to see if there's any, any remorse, like anything that we need to change out of that, or just to see if there's any lessons or wisdom out of that. The Page of Wands is also a symbol of youthfulness and creativity. We're being asked to look at our past, at any form of creative outlet that really supports us and supports our growth and supports our joy. If that's something that we've gotten away from, it's time to return to it now. There's storms and fireworks going on at the same time right now. Like, this is true full moon energy. The Page of Wands is also a representation of freedom and independence. So, I definitely think that's been a topic at hand over this past year and a half. We've had to look back at our freedoms and our independence and our freedom to make decisions for ourselves and for our body and for the collective as a whole, our freedom to continue where we are doing the same work and the same thing, or maybe making a shift and change. I'm still doing the same work, but I'm doing it differently. And I definitely know that the past year has given me a spark for change, a spark for my own alchemy, to start, kind of laser focusing my energy on certain things that I want to do. So, as we look at this Page of Wands cards, we're just reminded to look back at the past, to look at the details, to see maybe if there's any wisdom or anything that needs to make change. And, how do we want to express ourselves moving forward? Can we express ourselves in that youthful, childlike, imaginative innocence, not really caring what other people think? Can we fully express ourselves in that way? During this full moon portal, we're just being asked to kind of look at all of that stuff as it's illuminated. Now for the present, I have the Queen of Cups. And you can see she's holding a cup there. She's seated on a box. She's got a green dress. She's surrounded by red. And she reminds us that we need to embrace a very mothering, nurturing energy right now. We need to be gentle with ourselves. The Queen of Cups is a mothering ruler. She's very compassionate and empathetic. She treats all of her people like brothers and sisters. This is basically the Cancer card, like Cancer zodiac card right here. And we're right smack dab in the middle of Cancer season. So I'm not surprised we pull this for the present. But the Queen of Cups, she also really handles her emotions. And she's very feminine, and she's very gentle. And so with this full moon right now, we're being asked to, kind of look at the structure of family, full moon in Capricorn. We need to look at the way that we're treating others. Are we treating each other with compassion and empathy? Are we handling our emotions and not letting the emotions get the best of us and our perceptions of others? I know that I was triggered several times this past week, or just like had certain perceptions of people. And the more I stayed silent and held space and tried to get to see the light in those people, the more I had compassion and empathy and understanding, instead of like frustration and anger and misunderstanding. So I think that, we can take the lessons from the Queen of Cups, and remind ourselves to just be compassionate with everyone, and to see each other with a little bit of grace. And when we start to be triggered by one another, maybe we take a step back and we pause and we look at our emotions and kind of get to the root of that before we actually respond. The Queen of Cups also represents possible messages that can come through your dreams, and we're moving into Neptune retrograde tomorrow, a time when the dream space can be really potent. So you might find that doing dream work right now can be really powerful, whether that's lucid dreaming or asking to have answers in your dreams, or maybe you're doing inner child healing or childhood trauma healing in your dreams. You can also connect to your ancestors in your dreams. So this is a time to really work with the internal in the dream space versus the external, and kind of trust in the other side of things that we don't fully understand and can't see and can't really make logic of, just understanding and trusting in their existence to help us feel supported in our journey. Now for the future, I pulled the Four of Cups. The Four of Cups here. And 4 is a number of completion. You think 4 seasons, 4 trimesters in a pregnancy, if you count that trimester after baby is born, that adjusting period. This is an adjustment period. This is a time of change. The Four of Cups can pull up the concept of relationships. A lot of times this is a symbol of, do we need to keep the relationship around? Or do we need to cut ties? Do we need to shift the relationship and change the way it is? As I mentioned, the cups are a sign of emotion. So we might have emotional stuff coming up right now. Also, cups are the sacral chakra. And the sacral chakra represents our relationships with people other than our close family. So anybody that we're relating to outside of that, there might be stuff illuminated right now with this full moon, or we might just again have that concept of Capricorn energy wanting structure around family. So if you are feeling the need to maybe reset your inner circle, or if you're looking to find a new circle or a new tribe, these are going to be things that you want to focus on throughout the rest of this lunar cycle, and probably through the rest of summer and the rest of this year. There's probably going to be a shift in the people that you hang out with, or the people that you do continue to have a relationship with. Those relationships are going to grow and evolve and change for the better as well. Now I pulled a spirit animal card for this season and for the rest of the year, since we're halfway through the year with summer solstice. We're at midsummer energy, and the animal spirit that came through is grasshopper. And this card says, take a leap of faith. And I think that's exactly what energy we're moving into with this Jupiter retrograde influencing this moon. So we're halfway through the year. It's time to make big changes. We're in the middle of summer. We're at the peak of our energy, the peak of our light. It's a really good time to just go for it in that way. And if this could be a card, I would call this the Sagittarius card, because it's like, go for it. You can do it. Take the leap of faith. Stop standing so still. Stop being stagnant. Like, trust in the air to lift you. You don't have to know what's going to happen. Just go for it. You don't have to have a plan. Yeah, and so with Jupiter being retrograde, Jupiter rules Sagittarius, and we're having this bigger and bigger light around good luck and fortune and the energy of just going for it. So I think that spirit animal grasshopper is coming through with this full moon to say, wrap up the stuff. The Capricorn moon is telling you to wrap up the stuff that's standing in your way. Get excited, get joyful about your big, scary, exciting dreams, and just go for it. So Page of Wands reminding us of our magic, reminding us of the past and the things that have brought us to where we are, asking us to reflect on Mercury retrograde, to pay attention to details from our past, to embrace our youthful creativity, and also to remember that we are always free. We always have free will to change, and we always have the ability to make independent decisions for the better of ourselves. For the present, the Queen of Cups reminding us to be graceful, be a nurturer of yourself right now in this Cancer season, to navigate this Cancer season with a mother energy, to treat everyone like family, and to start to find more compassion and empathy and grace for one another. And if you need to do work, do it in your dreams or expect messages to come through, especially with this Neptune retrograde coming up. And then the Four of Cups reminding us that relationships need to change, or you just need to be done with them completely. It's time to really look at the way that you're relating to the world, relating to each other. And are you being ruled by your emotions? Or are you being ruled by the desire for all of us to be one big, happy, global family? If you have any goals, Grasshopper Spirit says go for it. Don't worry about how to get there. If you just make the first hop, the first leap, the other steps will come along the way. The blades of grass are tall. It's hard to see above them. It's hard to know what's on the other side. But if we take that leap, we can see above the grass. We can see what's on the other side, and then we come back down again. And then we got to take another leap of faith, and we can see it. We can see it just on the other side, but then we come back down again. Do you get it? This is the process of evolutionary growth. This is the path of the human. It's thundering outside right now. There's a lot of energy.